we need to identify the quadrant, then we need to find the possible values of x, y, and r using the given ratio and the diagram. We need to find the value of the required expression by applying the definitions of trig ratios. Right, so let's do our first example. Don't forget to use your cast diagram, right? Remember that all trigonometric ratios are positive in the first quadrant, then only sine ratio is positive in the second quadrant, tan on the third quadrant, then cos on the fourth quadrant, right? So let me get a problem for us to do. Right, so I'm going to write down a problem. Okay. If 3 tan theta minus 4 is equal to 0, and our ratio theta is between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. What is it that they want you to find? They want you to determine the value of 25 sine squared theta minus 5 cos theta. So that's what they want you to find, right? So what was the next step? What is the first step? The first step is to isolate your trig ratio. That is the first step. So let's isolate our trig ratio, right? So here's our trig ratio. So we need to isolate that. So if we isolate that, then we're going to have 3 tan theta. Then we take this to the other side, then it's going to be 3 tan theta is equal to 4. But we haven't isolated our trig ratio because our trig ratio is tan theta, so we need to isolate that. So to do that, we need to divide both sides by 3. So then our trig ratio is going to be tan theta is equal to 4 over 3. Then what is the next step? So our next step now is to identify the quadrant. So as we can see that our trigonometric ratio is positive, and our trigonometric ratio is tan theta. So what is it that we need to do? So we now need to identify the quadrant by using our diagram and our trigonometric ratio, right? So let's draw our cast diagram. So here's our diagram, and then we have 0 degrees, 90, 180, 270, and 360 degrees, right? And then we know that this is our cast, here is our cast diagram, right? So where is tan positive? Where is tan positive? Because our trigonometric ratio is positive. Tan is positive in the first and third diagram, third quadrant. It is positive in the first and third quadrant, right? But we are restricted. Here we have a restriction that our angle is between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. So between 180 degrees to 360 degrees, tan is only positive in third quadrant. So it means that we are going to draw our diagram in third quadrant. So let's draw our diagram in third quadrant. Right. So here's our diagram in third quadrant. Right, remember this is your y and this is your x. So if we draw our diagram in third quadrant, and then we have this, so your diagram must be clear. So we have this, remember what we have here. We know that tan theta, is what? It is y over x. So it means that 4 is our y value, 3 is our x value. Right, so here is our y value. But in third quadrant, we know that your y and your x are both negative. So we are going to have, so our y value is 4. And then our x value, remember here in this case, our x value is 3. But remember in third quadrant, our ratios, our x and y value, both x and y value are negative. So this is what we have. So now what is it that we need to find? We need to find the value of r. How do we find the value of r? We use Pythagoras theorem. So what is it that we need to find? We need to find r. We know that r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. We are looking for r squared. What is the value of x? Negative 3 squared. What is the value of y? Negative 4 squared. R squared is equal to 9 plus 16. R squared is equal to 9 plus 16 plus 25. Therefore, the value of r, is therefore equal to 5. R is always positive because remember this is our terminal arm. So terminal arm. So your r is always positive, right? So now we have the value of r, which means that we can now go and solve our problem. So what is it that they want us to find? They want us to find the value of 25 sine squared theta minus 5 cos theta. Right, so we now need to find the values of sine squared theta and the value of cos theta first. Or we need to find the value of sine theta and cos theta before we do the substitution. So you can do it either way. Right, so what is the value of sine theta? Remember, sine theta is equal to your y over r. What is the value of y? The value of y is negative 4. What is the value of r? It's 5. What is then let's find cos theta. Cos theta, remember, it's x over r. What is the value of cos? What is the value of x? Negative 3. What is the value of r? 5. So we can now substitute our values, right? So therefore we have 25 sine squared theta. Sine theta is negative 4 over 5. We square that, and then minus 5. The value of cos theta, negative 3 over 5. Right? So if we square this, we're going to have 16 over 25. 25 and another 25, they will cancel. Then we are going to be left with positive 16. Plus, why am I saying plus? Because negative times negative, that's positive. And then 5 and 5 are going to cancel, then we're going to have 3. Therefore, our answer is 19. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. If you are new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We are going to continue. I'm going to give you more examples of this. You are required to know this if you're doing grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. Thank you so much. See you in our next